Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Dutchy Gaming, and a new video on the channel going over my transition to a tornado shot from Rain of Arrows. I finally bit the bullet. Even though I was enjoying Rain of Arrows a lot, it was super quick and a load of fun. I know that it's going to be more efficient for mapping and single target to switch to tornado shot. I'll go over what I did differently in terms of gear, tree, and what Ascendancy I've gone, that kind of thing. But what I thought we'd do first is just run a very quick map showcase. So I picked up a graveyard map, which is a Baron map. I am going to change the tier because I absolutely hate it. So we're going to go and run a toxic sewer. So this has got less armor, attack speed, enfeeble. So it's like a middle of the road map, I guess. So we'll go and run this. We'll go and put Maven on it because eventually I want to do the invitation. And then we'll showcase the build. Now it's very far from finished. I don't have an enchant on my helmet. I don't have any extra arrows. I've still got a 5-link bow. So it's far from optimal. But I thought it was time to bite the bullet and actually go tornado shot. No mage blood, boo. So I'm running 2 defensive auras. So you could get more DPS by putting in something like haste or anger or well, it'd be haste or anger or wrath. But overall, I like staying alive. And you can see from my XP bar I'm doing okay. I'm like level 97 and halfway to 98. But I don't do these sort of maps. This is really just for mapping. So as I say, the clear, it needs more arrows and it needs a secondary projectile enchant. At the moment, it doesn't feel brilliant, but it's okay. It's manageable. I can't see the boss. There they are. Okay, so that's the boss down. So I'll just drop a portal in case Baron kills me. I can't really see him. There he is. So the single target with enfeeble on the map is not the best. But it got him down. So enfeeble obviously lowers our damage by quite a lot. I lose a bit of armor in this map, which makes it a bit more deadly, which is why I was dodging around a bit. So we'll quickly go back into the map, and then we'll go back into the hideout. So let's talk about why I transitioned. The main reason is I wanted something with better clear. Rain of Arrows was really fun, and the Onslaught Ascendancy on Radio is not anything I've really pushed before, and I enjoyed it. It was really, really good, and it was really hard to tear myself away from it. But I kind of felt that pumping more into that build was a waste of money because you're only getting small returns at that point. So the idea was to transition to Tornado Shot when I got Omniscience. I transitioned when I had about 12 Divines, so I had a bit more farming to do to get Omni. I then actually decided the build felt too slow and I needed guarantee Onslaught. So I decided to buy an Onslaught and hit Ring, which cost me 10 Divines for an item level 73 base. I did want a higher item level, but they were like 17 or 18 Divines. So I'll just take the loss of a tier of stats or resistances or whatever it is. And I ended up rolling this with Crypt Multi-Essences, and it doesn't have life on it, but other than that, it's really decent. Got lightning damage, increased cold damage, global Crypt Multi, all Ellie Res, and then I've crafted non-channeling skills. I would say this is a luxury you don't need. The reason I'm doing it is I want to try and do all content, and Onslaught for like bosses is amazing. This is enough for mapping. You're going to get a chance to get Onslaught and kill. You could also get a brutal restraint jewel in here instead of a lethal pride. You get Onslaught and kill for 8 seconds. So there's loads of ways you can get Onslaught without having to buy this ring. In terms of the gear, I'm not going to go through it too much because it's pretty much exactly the same as in the last video. So if you're interested in the gear, then I'd recommend the last Rain of Arrows update. I have not changed anything. I've respec'd the tree a tiny bit. I've dropped these nodes here. And then I think I did drop these nodes originally, but I've gone back here. I've had to take spell suppression on the tree until I can get it on my gear. And I don't think I'm actually capped. I think I'm like 97% capped. And then I've added in a medium cluster jewel into Melage that is repeater and eye to eye. And that's essentially it. I don't have any extra arrows. I don't have a helmet enchant. I've just transitioned as I was on Rain of Arrows straight into Tornado Shot. And it feels good. Like I'm surviving. it does enough damage without any offensive auras, but obviously Omni's going to pretty much double the damage. I'm going to have to do a lot of respecking of my gear, but that's kind of where I want to aim. I want Omniscience. I want at least double the damage, and then I can basically do any content that I want other than maybe the Feared or some really, really juiced deli stuff. So that's my goal at the moment, is farming Omniscience. For my Ascendancy, at the moment, because my character's not that strong, I'm going Chain, 2 Proj, Tailwind, and then Focal Point. If I get my damage up a lot, I'm going to save up by Awaken Chain, and I would drop this node here and actually go Fast Shot, and then drop Point Blank, because Fast Shot feels much better when mapping. But on bosses, the further away you are, the less chance you have hitting with more projectiles, which is why more arrows and the extra secondary projectile are really important for this build. So eventually we will be dropping Point Blank, but for now, it's easier for me single target wise to just stand on top of the boss. We've still got fairly decent defenses. They're not like Raider level of defenses, but we've got 26, just short of 27k evasion and just short of 21k armor with Flask up, just normal resistances. I have got Ailment Immune, which we'll go through in a minute. It says Spell Suppression Cap, but that's because I get 10% when I'm at full life. And that's my goals for the build, really. I'll get Omniscience, improve my gear so that I get, a decent amount of Omniscience without sacrificing too much on the build. The idea is I want around 4k life if I can, still Determination, Grace, and good defenses, 100% chance to hit, and then double the DPS. I don't ask so much, but it should be possible. So all I've done is got this ring, and then I've recrafted some boots. That's it. So the boots I needed Ailment Immunity on, and I needed it in big chunks because I wanted to be able to get capped by just crafting it on my chest, and the 20 we get from the tree. So all I've done is I bought a fractured pair of boots. They are cheap if you're not bothered about the base type, like a lower armor and evasion base, but I wanted a better one. So they were about 30 cows, I think, for the base. I've then spammed Loathing Essences, Deafening Loathing Essences, which are expensive. They're probably like 8 to 10 cows if you buy them in bulk, until I hit something that I like. This was fine. It's not ideal, but I don't want to re-roll these until I've got loads of currency. I would like Spell Suppression on these, but at 10 cows a pop for rolling them, I just wanted to take anything that helped. This had an open preview for life, so I crafted it. And then I've gone for Increase Effective Onslaught because I'm permanently having Onslaught pretty much. And then the important and basically mandatory chance to avoid Elite Ailments. If you don't want to bother with all this hoo-ha and you want to run something like a Hero's Eye chest, you'd have to drop one of your defensive auras and you would run Purity of Elements for your Ailment Immunity, and then that solves that problem. It also gives you resistances, which can help, especially when you go Omniscience, because resistances might be hard to get because you might have to drop stats to get them, depending on how high you push Omni. So there's lots of options in terms of auras. But really, I haven't done anything transitioning-wise other than just change the boots, transfer my character over, get the Onslaught ring, and then go and redo my Ascendancy in the lower level lab. So this is by far from the finished product. It was just, I wanted to get a video out because people are messaging me like every hour, have you transitioned yet? What are you doing? How are you going to do it? And I've literally just, transitioned straight away. I need a 6-link bow. I need Omniscience. I need to get some Omni gear and then get Awakened Gems and just upgrade the build as I go along. Because the idea is I want to pump a ton of currency into this build and make it like a super juicer, but it's going to take a little while to do it. But I will bring out an update video every time we hit a different stage. So for now, I'm just going to farm some currency, get Omni, get my gear together, and then I bring another build out once the build is basically in like stage 2 Tornado Shot. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you in the next one.